initiative of the Zoological Survey of India to enhance the knowledge of animal taxonomic science and studies among future stakeholders in a progressive way. The Animal Taxonomy Summit is being organized to bring together leading scientists, academicians, and researchers to provide a platform to exchange and disseminate the findings on the field of taxonomy. A total of 246 abstracts and 126 full-length papers were received at this summit across India, and more than 400 participants are attending the summit to share their taxonomical ideologies. So, requesting the Honorable Minister, Shri Bhupender Yadav ji, to formally inaugurate the Animal Taxonomy Summit, the first ever Animal Taxonomy Summit 2023. So now it's time for which we have been eagerly waiting for your blessings, requesting the Honorable Minister, Shri Bhupender Yadav ji, to present the Foundation Day inaugural address.
Today, at the occasion of 108 Foundation Day of JDSI, on the dais, my colleague, Shri Ashwani Chaubey ji, DG Forest, Shri CP Goyal ji, JDSI Director, Srimati Dhriti Banerjee ji, BSI Director, Mr. Mao, ladies and gentlemen. It is a matter of immense pleasure for me to be in Kolkata today. To be on the land of Rabindranath Tagore and Rabindra Sangeet is both an honor and a blessing. What adds to my happiness is that today marks 108 years of the Zoological Survey of India. The fact that ZSI is headquartered in Kolkata also shows the city cares as much as for its literature as it does for India's fauna. It loves its arts as much as it loves its animals. I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate JDSI for completing 108 glorious years dedicated to the service of our faunal biodiversity. Before I go any further, I am tempted to share the significance of number 108. A japamala has 108 beds. A cycle of 108 repetition is counted on the japamala so the practitioner can focus on sounds, vibration, and meaning of what is being said. There are 54 letters in Sanskrit alphabet. Each has a masculine and feminine features, Shiva and Shakti. And so 54 multiplied by 2 is 108. So congratulations ZSI for 108 years of dedicated service to the nation in the exploration, research and documentation of the faunal diversity of India. The work done by ZSI is critical to preserving and protecting India's faunal diversity. And we must protect this diversity to protect ourselves. Human superiority, that's the superiority complex in human, is a myth. Climate change has busted this myth, but human arrogance make it difficult for people to see the simple truth. For the longest time, human beings have believed that they are superior because they have brains and so they can think. But I want to share with you a very interesting theory put forth by the anthropologist Eduardo Cohen. It says, forest can think. Let me share an example to make this easier for understanding. Eduardo Cohen, in his How Forests Think, says, and I quote, he mentioned that people living in and around of the jungles of Ecuador sleep face up so that if a jaguar comes, he will see them and go back because he knows people can see him. If they sleep face down, the jaguar will think they cannot see me and hence can become my food. So if a jaguar sees people as being capable of looking back, a self like himself, he will leave them alone. But if he should come to see people as prey, he will kill them and eat them. The jaguar therefore can think clarity about what it can attack and exactly when it can come under attack. Cohen argues in his book that even trees can think. He says that specific trees growing in specific areas is not accidental. Trees interact with their environment because they have specialized characteristics. Pest resistance is an example of these specialized characteristics, and these shapes where a tree species can be naturally found, this is how trees think. Eduardo Cohen demonstrated that living actors, not just humans, influence and are influenced by the living things around them. He thus offers a critique to developed nations by indicating that they may have become soul blind. Again, I use the word soul blind to the world around them. Some of us many feel that this doesn't compare to human intelligence. But just take a moment to ponder over where our intelligence has brought us. We are endangered, not just our future, but that of the jaguar and the thinking tree. An anthropocentric worldview adopted by the West, again I want to repeat, an anthropocentric worldview adopted by the West believed people to be bigger truth. The truth that human being is not superior to nature but one with nature. We must therefore protect it. We forget that the trees, the tigers, the birds, the insects, the rivers that sustain our life also have life in them. A life that is as precious as our own. It is not that we alone can think. The forest can think too, but they do not think destruction. They do not think greed. They think of creation and construction. They remind us of what Mahatma Gandhi said, in nature there is enough for everyone's need. Friends, we do no favor to nature by working to protect it. It is a favor we do to ourselves. And so we must all do everything to protect nature and its gift it bestows upon us. ZSI has been working on this front for over a century now. Upholding the core values of our Constitution since independence, ZSI has played a pivotal role in providing scientific inputs and formulating policies and legislation for biodiversity conservation. Historically, the studies of ZSI have helped in establishing globally well-known protected areas such as Silent Valley National Park in Kerala, Namdapa Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh, biosphere reserves and many others in country. The survey also played an important role in formulating Wildlife Protection Act, including the recent amendments, Biodiversity Act and Biodiversity Rules. The services provided by ZSI in enhancing the biodiversity knowledge base of the country is unparalleled. The knowledge base of the survey has benefited academics, forest departments, conservation policy makers, state and central government and general public. It is a matter of great satisfaction that ZSI is only organization in India which is covering the entire spectrum of animal diversity of India from protozoa to mammals and from the lofty mountains of Himalayas to the depth of ocean. ZSI has documented and published fauna of all 10 biographic zones. The knowledge generated by ZSI by proposing the biodiversity is providing tangible and intangible income, social benefits in nature resources sector by supporting the activities in agriculture, fisheries, animal husbandry, forestry, and human health. Further, the work of ZSI helped to achieve international obligation in conserving biodiversity and sustainable development goals. Rewilding and restoration of biodiversity is top priority of the government led by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Our recent transcontinental introduction of cheetah to Kuno National Park, Madhya Pradesh is globally acclaimed. To strengthen our conservation laws and to meet international commitment, we have amended the Wildlife Protection Act with several provisions for the conservation of biodiversity. The role of Director ZSI and her team of scientists is providing valuable technical inputs for amending the Wildlife Protection Act is appreciated. In the last 10 years, we have declared 45 wetland of Ramsar sites, and in 2022 alone, 11 new sites were added to protected wetlands of India. Currently, 75 wetlands are protected as Ramsar sites. I am very pleased to know, and I released also, ZSI has brought out a comprehensive volume of faunal diversity of Ramsar sites of India. As discussed during my last introduction meeting with the scientists, so many are here, a very familiar face to me now, to strengthen the organization in the last year. Ministry has recruited scientists, seniors, abolish posts. Further, efforts are being taken to strengthen the scientific infrastructural facilities in ZSI in future. As a part of capacity building, the scientists of ZSI are mentoring several research scholars to successfully complete their PhD. In support of biodiversity conservation policies of the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, and to achieve national and international conservation and sustainable development goal, the survey has been contributing to the international conventions by ZSI also helpful, such as UNCBD, UNCCD, IUCN, CITES, and other international conventions. But friends, our conservation effort will not yield result unless we change our interaction with the environment. When the Industrial Revolution started in the West, they believed humans are the front and center of life. Nature began to teach humans some hard lesson. I want to share a very interesting example with you, the example of discovery and use of DDT, the insecticide. The discovery of DDT in 1939 was thought to be revolutionary. Paul Harmon Miller won the 1948 Nobel Prize for this discovery. DDT, the most powerful pesticide the world had ever known, exposed nature's vulnerability. Unlike most pesticides, whose effectiveness is limited to destroying one or two types of insecticides, DDT was capable of killing hundreds of different kinds at once. DDT first distinguished itself during World War II, clearing South Pacific island of malaria-causing insects for US troops. When in 1945, DDT became available for civilian use, a few people raised their voices against the harm it could cause. They were shut down immediately. But it was in 1958 that Rachel Carson, a biologist and conservationist, wrote a book called Silent Spring, highlighting the harm of DDT was causing to the environment. You will be shocked to know that Rachel Carson was already a bestseller, selling author in 1958, but no one was ready to publish her book on DDT because nobody believed her. That speaks volumes about human arrogance toward nature. But Carson's effort eventually paid off, and even though it took time people come to believe her, this was the first time people come to accept that human intervention can harm nature. Friends, I am telling you this story. I believe our efforts to conserve nature will fall short if we do not understand the basic fact, and that's the motto of our ministry also, Prakriti Rakshita Rakshat, nature protects if she is protected. Conservation of flora and fauna is nothing but self-conservation. To the end, I am deeply appreciative of the work of ZSI has been doing. As the part of Digital India vision of the government led by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, the primary biodiversity data generated by the survey is being digitized. With an aim to support global taxonomy and biodiversity research, ZSI is envisioning to complete the digitization of all voucher specimens at headquarters and regional centers in near future. Recently, with the support of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the scientists of ZSI has initiated long-term monitoring of sea turtles by tagging them along the Odisha coast for tracking their migration and movement between feeding and breeding areas in the Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. The molecular systematic laboratories ZSI at Kolkata and regional centers have generated sequence of many species of rare, endangered, endemic, threatened and traded species. This library of DNA sequence of fauna generated by ZSI is playing an important role in resolving species identity and providing scientific evidences in wildlife crime. ZSI has done praiseworthy work in the field of taxonomy as well. In 2022, Indian scientists discovered 664 animal species from different parts of India. The detailed report of this discovery was already released today. With the consistent effort of ZSI, currently nearly 104,000 species of animal are documented from the country. To be honest, I cannot cover in one speech 108 years of phenomenal work this institution has done and continues to do. It would require a book running into several volumes. This is the scale of work you have achieved. ZSI is India's pride, and I am proud to be here today. I wish you all greater success in conserving, preserving, and restoring our wildlife. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for all that you have said, and especially, sir, the 108 Connect. It never occurred to any of us. So, sir, thank you so much for highlighting this very special fact. So with this, we have come to the end of this first part of the program. I request Dr. Gurupada Mandal, Scientist E and Head of Office of Zoological Survey of India, to present a vote of thanks.